Hello and welcome to the special edition of Editor's Take. My name is Shatujan and I have with me Santosh Nair. Today we're going to talk about markets and fallen NBFC stocks. Now Santosh, a month back, we saw markets hitting record highs. Then in the month of September, huge carnage happened and especially led by NBFC stocks. How are you decoding that information?
Well, much of it has been due to the selling that we saw in NBFC stocks over the last couple of weeks. The mood for NBFC sector in general has changed dramatically. Till about a couple of months back, every fund manager was dying to own NBFC stocks, and all of a sudden the mood has changed here. Now, the point to be noted here is that despite the steep fall in stock prices, NBFC shares are still not looking very cheap. So you're not exactly seeing people rushing to buy in.
Right.
And the other issue is that there are concerns, and quite legitimate, that NBFCs may struggle to raise money. Overall, the mood among mutual funds towards NBFCs have changed quite a bit following the crisis at IL&FS. So they are very reluctant to lend to NBFCs. Now, so far the thing that had been working for NBFCs is that they were able to borrow cheap.
Right.
Now, that's no longer the case. So if they are not able to borrow cheap, it will definitely hurt their earnings, and the expensive valuations was basically built on the premise that these companies will continue to keep doing well. So that has been challenged. So that's why you're seeing a steep sell-off, and also adding to the downtrend are technical factors. A lot of traders have taken up leverage positions. Those are being unwound in a hurry. So all these factors is leading to the collapse in NBFC stocks.
Now, connecting the IL&FS story, now the recent report that have come out, or recent news that have come out or surfaced, that government will be taking control of the board of IL&FS in a Satyam-like, takeover. So, do you think that this information or this action has come a little late? Maybe it could have happened 2 weeks back?
Well, in hindsight, one could say that maybe this action should have come a little bit early, but still, nevertheless,
to soothe investors' nerve, and we could have probably avoided this kind of carnage.
Probably, Kshitij, but then still, it's always a case of better late than
absolutely,
never.
We respect the decision, and better late than never.
So yeah, so what even at this stage, the government is trying to resolve the situation, but I don't think it will be an easy solution for most banks. Many of them will still be looking at a haircut. They'll lose.
We're talking about like 1 lakh crore of debt.
About 91,000 crores, and there was a report by our research team which is estimated ballpark that probably banks may be looking at a haircut of around 27,000 crores. So there is no easy way out of this, but if the government does manage to restore some bit of confidence, probably that should help somewhat the slide that we are seeing in the market, particularly in NBFC stocks.
Right, and also, over a period of this, 1 month, in the month of September, we saw, Sensex falling by 2,400 points. So, it looks like we are in a kind of a perfect storm. Crude is rising, then rupee is falling, we got fiscal concern, then macro concern. So, how should investors sort of decode this information?
Well, Kshitij, I think the very tough time if you are a buyer in this kind of a market, if you're owning stocks, but if you
make a judgment, to go and buy at these levels, or probably, book out and exit.
But Kshitij, always the case is that you tend to make the big money when there's a lot of uncertainty. That's been, if you look back at history,
right,
whenever there's been blood on the streets, and investors who managed to buy at that point or had the nerve to buy at that point, they're the ones who actually made the big profit. So I guess this time is no different. Right. You're seeing a lot of panic. A lot of it could be exaggerated to some extent. So I think what an investor needs to do is have a focus on some quality stocks, and if he gets don't try to really time the market, because no one can ever catch the tops or bottoms. But if you see a substantial fall in any stock and you're convinced about the fundamental of that stock, I think this is probably in some ways an opportunity in disguise.
Thank you, Santosh, for your time. And for investors, well, the NBFC troubles are here to stay. They're not going to go away anytime soon. Valuations still look expensive at this point in time. Well, the right advice would be to stay with quality and do not get into the pressure of panic selling.